go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. And not to forget that you can watch it live on our website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: X at OGTV, Facebook at OGTV Television, and YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, TikTok at OGTV. We begin with President Bola Tinubu, who insisted that the implementation of the new tax laws will commence on January 1 as planned, despite criticism from opposition and pressure groups. In a statement, Tinubu said the tax laws are not designed to raise taxes, but rather to support a structural reset, drive harmonization, and protect dignity while strengthening the social contract. He called for support from all Nigerians as the tax laws would take effect in a few days. Tinubu signed the 4 tax reform bills into law, marking what the government has described as the most significant overhaul of the country's tax system in decades. The laws include the Nigeria Tax Act, the Nigeria Tax Administration Act, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act, all operating under a single authority, the Nigeria Revenue Service. The federal government has denied allegations that it plans to unlawfully arrest, detain, or prosecute opposition figures, describing as false a document circulating online that claims the existence of a multi-agency task force aimed at targeting prominent political opponents. In a statement, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the document, which refers to a supposed program tagged ADP4VIP, arrest, detain, prosecute for very important persons, is entirely fabricated and does not exist. The document alleges that the task force comprising the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor, was created to aggressively pursue opposition figures, particularly members of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, without a due process. Idris dismissed the claims as baseless disinformation, stressing that there is no such program or task force under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. He accused some opposition elements of attempting to portray lawful accountability as political prosecution in order to shield influential individuals from facing Nigeria's laws and anti-corruption agencies. The minister reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to constitutional democracy, the rule of law and due process, noting that Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended guarantees Nigerians the right to freedom of association and assembly. The governor of Rivers State, Satimilai Fubara, has made minor adjustments in his cabinet. Fubara, in a decision during an executive meeting, redeployed the Commissioner of Sport Development, Barrister Christopher Green, to the Ministry of Justice. It will be recalled that following the political crisis in the state, Fubara had dissolved the members of the cabinet that were affected by the Supreme Court judgment on the political crisis in the state. The deployment and the development had affected the then Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state. But the governor's move to have an Attorney General has moved Green, who was serving as Commissioner for Sport, to the Ministry of Justice as the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. This is contained in a statement by Dr. Onsirawo, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Communications. The statement noted that Barrister Green would also continue to coordinate the activities of the Ministry of Sport, pending the appointment of a substantive commissioner to oversee the ministry. The redeployment, which takes immediate effect, was approved at the last State Executive Council meeting for the year 2025, underscoring the governor's commitment to strengthening governance, ensuring continuity in service delivery, and optimism in performance of key ministries within the state. As Nigerians count down to the new year, markets across Abeokuta reflect a blend of cautious optimism and economic restraint. With barely a day to the celebrations, major markets including Lafenwa, Kuto, Omida and Olomore recorded heightened activity, though the pace differs marketed from previous festive seasons. Our reporter Olaide Oloye visited some of these markets and reports that while prices of certain staple food items show signs of moderation, others remain above household expectations, offering both relief and renewed pressure for families planning end-of-year celebration. A report.
Markets across Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, witnessed the rising commercial and human traffic as the residents prepare to usher in the new year. From the early hours of the day, key markets such as Lafenwa, Kuto, Omida and Olomori came alive with buyers and sellers, signaling the familiar end of the year rush with a more measured tempo. Usually bustling corridors grew increasingly congested as traders display food items, clothing, household goods, and livestock to meet festive demand. Shoppers armed with carefully planned lists move from store to store, comparing prices, while vehicular movement around market routes slows under heavy traffic pressure. Across this market, traders express mixed reactions. Some food sellers speak with optimism, noting that relatively stable prices attract cautious buyers seeking value for money this season.
Last year is better than this year because last year is fine. So this time, so when we pray, God will help us. This year is not so. Around 18,000 naira. There are some things that you want to buy at the rate of 10,000 naira. When you get to the market, you meet it higher. It's high, it's very high. Everywhere is dry. There is no money. It's expensive than last year. I would say like the prices are actually very, very high. I got clothes and the prices are actually budgeted. It was not what I meant when I got to the market. I just normal price and I got the amount I buy it.
For us bringing 20,000, 15,000 to market, we are unable to buy something like much.
As the new year draws closer, Abeokuta markets continue to adjust to changing price patterns and consumers' behavior. Traders and buyers alike remain hopeful that the final day of the December will deliver strong activity and a modest festive lift to the local economy. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
With the new year just days away, passenger movement is increasing across the country as many Nigerians travel to unite with the family and loved ones. Against this background, our correspondent Nkem Ago visited major motor parks across the Abeokuta metropolis to assess transport fears and commuters' experiences ahead of the celebration. A report.
Findings at several motor parks across Abeokuta revealed relative stability in transport fares, despite increased passenger traffic associated with the festive season. Many drivers attribute the situation to the annual surge in travel demand, explaining that the period traditionally records higher movement as people journey to celebrate the holidays with family and friends.
Kí àwọn driver kó máa mú tí wa ọkọ̀ so everybody wọ́n ti lé jẹ́ kọ́ lè máa fi kún price. Our union leaders have advised us to reduce our speed limit and not increase the price of transportation. We have advised the drivers to drive carefully.
So commuters expressed surprise that fares remain moderate, noting that the significant increases are usually recorded during festive periods, with prices often normalizing only after the celebration.
It feels different. Because everywhere is kind of like rowdy.
Transport union officials at the park acknowledged the increased passengers turnout, but assured the public that measures are in place to discourage arbitrary pricing and promote fairness.
Before Kyoto to the concept, and anytime the bamba driver was sold. Tomati load go, I'm to bound sold.
Before and during the festive season, we caution our drivers to drive carefully. Drinking while driving has been prohibited for a while now due to the carelessness of our drivers, especially during the festive period.
Our stamina for during the festival.
During this season, we are being sensitized by the Federal Road Safety Corps to drive with care.
They also appeal to drivers to exercise restraint and professionalism, urging them to avoid exploiting commuters during the seasonal rush. In Kem Agu, OGTV News.
For the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government to achieve all its lofty programs for the country, the support of Nigerians is highly required in the new year. The member representing Abeokuta South Federal Constituency, Honorable Afolabi Afwakwe, made this call during the review of the year 2025 for the nation after a visit to OGTV Broadcasting House.
For instance, I was telling somebody just a few days ago that last year I bought a bag of rice for almost 90,000 and this year I bought it to 53,000. That's a positive one to me. That means Nigeria, the investment of the President Tinubu, investment in everything started to show. And we need to leverage on this, to also improve on it, to make this happen for us. And in all this, all hands must be on deck. We must continue to pray for this government. The government has good intention, and that good intention is what's important to achieve anything.
Honorable Afwakwe described the year as a great one for Ogun State, given many wonderful things that have happened under the current administration in the state.
Our government is so visionary and so committed and so passionate about Ogun State. We are saying that they have done much more than Airport. There is going to be driving, there is going to be seaport, there is going to be a lot of things coming up in Ogun State because of that person that has a vision that's also holding the head of Ogun State. The work for hard work is more work. Yes, government is doing well, but we still continue to challenging that. We still needing to do more. Less than 2 years, we will finish term, and I know that we still get more democracy from him. I'm commending him. I'm also commending myself. I'm good for Ogun State.
Lawmaker assured the people of his constituency more in the coming year. As the curtain gradually falls on 2025, many Nigerians are taking stock of the year gone by, weighing achievements against challenges and charting deliberate pathways for the year ahead. A defining ritual of this reflective period is the setting of a New Year resolution, personal commitment designed to inspire self-improvement, discipline, and purposeful growth. Our reporter, Margaret Okunola, examines how residents are positioning themselves for 2026 through renewed goals, expectations, and a clearer sense of direction.
The beginning of the new year often comes with renewed hope.
fresh goals and strong desire for positive change. Hence, many people set New Year resolutions as a guide and a way of repositioning themselves for a productive and better year ahead.
A survey by the OGTV News School across Abeokuta Metropolis reveals that residents' resolutions span critical areas of life, including education, health, family values, career advancement, and financial responsibility.
In 2026, I wish to stop to go to the party. So in 2026, I wish to continue to do another business because one work is not enough for now in this economy. You must add another thing to your business. You must find another way that will be achieve more income.
This year 2025. Although I was trying to go back to village, I started my foundation for house. What to next year again? I can't go home again. It is until February before I will go again. Anything I do from February now, I will count it as achievement that I get in 2025.
My plan for 2025, I was able to achieve most of them because to get admission, secondary school, to get admission, pass my JAM, to get above 200, I was grateful to God. I have new set goals to build my CGPA and in unit to run for positions.
Beyond the goals themselves, some emphasize the importance of clarity, consistency, and accountability.
It's good to plan on your decision and you work towards it. Whatever you think in your heart, so shall it be.
It's necessary, like what is written in the Bible, in the book of Habakkuk, that God said that your vision, write it on the table and make it plain. When you have a vision, you will be able to run with it.
Some residents describe New Year resolutions as a practical framework for self-assessment, stressing that honest reflection on past successes and shortcomings enables the setting of more realistic and attainable goals.
I will actually say that there is more to you setting goals and there is more to things you carried out to achieve it. For instance, you set a goal. For instance, as for me, I have a vision board. Not everything in that vision board is able to be achieved because there are lots of different factors that can enable dreams not to come to reality. One of it is financial constraints, and we all know it is affectable for everybody.
They advise that the solutions should be specific and measurable, supported by actionable plans and reliable support systems to sustain focus and motivation throughout the year. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
Still ahead, Federal High Court orders the remand of ex-AGF Malami's wife, son in Soja prison over alleged money laundering. Details of this and more news after this break. Just stay with us. Glad to have you on the second segment of the news. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the remand of the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami at the Kuje Correctional Center pending the hearing and determination of their bail application. The trial judge, Justice Emeka Wide, also ordered the remand of his co-defendant, his son Abubakar Malami, and one of his wives, Bashir Asabi. Justice Onwete made the order after taking arguments from the defense team led by Joseph Daudu and the prosecution counsel, Ekelechi Eneacho. Malami and his co-defendants are facing a 16-count money laundering charge preferred against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC alleges that the defendants conspired at various times to conceal, retain, and disguise the proceeds of unlawful activities running into several billions of naira. According to the charge, the alleged offenses span several years and include the use of companies and bank accounts to launder funds, the retention of cash as collateral for loans, and the acquisition of high-value properties in Abuja, Kano, and other locations. The Commission further alleges that some of the offenses were committed while Malami was serving as Attorney General of the Federation in breach of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. Here in Ogun State, the State House of Assembly has received a formal notification from a former deputy minority leader and member representing Abeokuta South 1 State constituency, Honorable Lukman Atobatele, announcing his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and his decision to join the All Progressive Congress (APC), fighting internal conflict and lack of a clear direction from the PDP leadership as part of the reasons for his defection. Honorable Lukman Atobatele was welcomed to the ruling APC by the Speaker, Right Honorable Ludaisi Elemide, and APC lawmakers during plenary held at the Assembly Complex of Kimofon, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kolawoli Osho covered the plenary. Details are in this package.
Reading Honorable Lukman Atobatele's correspondence during the plenary, the Speaker, Right Honorable Ludaisi Elemide, disclosed that the lawmaker attributed his defection to internal crisis, leadership disputes, and lack of clear direction within the People's Democratic Party at the national and state levels.
As representative of Abeokuta South Constituency 1, my priority is to ensure my constituents benefit from a stable and progressive political platform. Joining the APC allows me to collaborate more effectively with the government and advance the development agenda for my constituency.
Responding, the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Ludaisi Elemide, said he hoped and prayed that the lawmaker's stay in his new political party would justify the reasons for his defection.
You are welcome to the fold of the ruling party. I just want us to believe that in this house we are one. Whether PDP, whether APC, whether we are one. The people that brought you here is different, but when we are here, we are all honorable members. Let us continue to enjoy the cordial relationship among us.
In other development, the Assembly also commiserated with the victims of the fatal road accident involving British-Nigerian boxer Anthony Joshua, which occurred along Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway at Makun Junction, resulting in the death of two others, including his cousin and a friend, Shinon Bami and Lateef Ayodele. The Assembly's expression of sympathy followed the presentation of members representing Shagamu 2 and 1 state constituencies, Honorables Ademola Adeniro and Damilare Bello, who raised the issue under personal explanation. The Speaker also enjoined motorists to exercise caution on highways to prevent avoidable loss of life.
We should be mindful of our speed limits. We should be conscious of events happening on our roads. We should make sure that our vehicles are certified okay. We cannot afford to be losing lives on daily basis on our roads. May the Lord grant the soul of the departed eternal rest.
The Assembly observed a minute's silence in honor of the deceased while expressing condolence to the bereaved families and wished the injured boxer and other survivors a speedy recovery. Also at the plenary, Right Honorable Olumide commended his co-lawmakers in the spirit of unity and cooperation that characterized legislative activities throughout the year, and appreciated the management and staff of the State House of Assembly for their patience, solidarity, and support.
The Idera Oluwa Community Development Area held its annual general meeting, an end-of-year party, an event aimed at reviewing the year's achievements and strengthening unity among residents. The gathering, held in Abeokuta, brought together area chairmen, members and residents who expressed gratitude to God for preservation throughout the year, while also reviewing their commitment to community development. Adedamola Adeniji's report is presented from our studios.
Community development thrives on unity, cooperation, and shared responsibility, values which the Idera Oluwa Community Development Area celebrate at its annual general meeting and end-of-year party. Members of the event thanked God for guidance, protection, and progress recorded within the community throughout the year. Speaking at the gathering, the area chairman says the occasion is dedicated to Thanksgiving and encourages residents to continue to live in love, peace, and mutual understanding for the growth of the area.
So I commend them for what they are doing, because the Idera community is one of the best communities we reckon with in this area. And the only advice I have is to keep it up and to maintain more peace in the community, to gather more people.
In his welcome address, the chairman described the event as one filled with gratitude, appreciating residents for their consistent support and active participation in community affairs.
Thank to God Almighty for making the 5th annual general meeting and end-of-year party of Idera Oluwa community a huge success. The Lord has been our source. He has been helping this community. He has fostered us in love and unity.
The guest speaker at the program enlightens residents on safety consciousness, urging them to remain vigilant and to sustain the spirit of unity that defines the Idera Oluwa community.
The topic of the lecture is just to encourage the togetherness among the religious diversities we have in the community, talking about the relationship between the Muslims and the Christians. We shouldn't have any issue relating with ourselves. For the fact that I'm a Muslim, you are a Christian, that should not affect the development of the community.
The program coordinator wants to express his appreciation to God for divine intervention while acknowledging the collective effort and contributions of members towards the success of the event.
The escorts, the community, the way they give us money. Some people give us more than what we expect. And the escorts, they really try. There is unity. Then our chairman is a man of integrity, and we should unite together. Unity do everything.
The gifts were shared among members, symbolizing love, togetherness, and renewed commitment to community development.
The member of the House of Representatives for Ijebu-Ode, Odogbolu, and Ijebu North East Federal Constituency, Honorable Femi Ogunbanwo, has marked the 50-year remembrance of his late father, Pa Amos Ayodele Ogunbanwo, popularly known as Iwa, with a special Thanksgiving service and an empowerment program benefiting over 2,500 constituents. The celebration, held at St. John's Anglican Church, Ijebu, attracts royal fathers, community leaders, politicians, and other dignitaries. Benga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
A special Thanksgiving service at the auditorium of St. John's Anglican Church, Ilado, Ijebu, sets the tone for the 50-year remembrance of Pa Amos Ayodele Ogunbanwo, fondly called Iwa, father of the member of the House of Representatives representing Ijebu-Ode, Odogbolu, and Ijebu North East Federal Constituency. Following the Thanksgiving service, Honorable Femi Ogunbanwo proceeds to the Samson Afolabi Anglican Church Hall, GRA Djibouti, where over 2,500 constituents benefit from various empowerment initiatives. This includes monetary support, bursary awards to over 500 students of higher institutions, food items and financial grants to widows, as well as the distribution of over 1,000 bags of 50 kilograms festive rice to constituents.
Being a beneficiary from last year, it actually helped me in my academics. Like I was able to use money as part of my school fees.
Dignitaries, educationists, community leaders and politicians commenced the empowerment program, describing it as a practical demonstration of the dividends of democracy.
I always thank for what you have because it is just coming that additional support.
You are better to use this opportunity when let it reflect in your community performance. That is one of the benefits of sending a better representative to National Assembly. When you get the best, you get the best.
It's a very tough environment, but for you to still have one or two of us just trying to be responsible, like what you want to say. Shows doing it very best. Part of many making that it's about just drinking wine. Impactful project by giving scholarship to students and also empower the widows. Show the kind of person from our age.
Royal fathers and other distinguished personalities, including the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, later attended a colorful reception which climaxes the 3-in-1 celebration. Visibly elated, Honorable Femi Ogunbanwo said he has been involved in the bursary distribution since 1990 during his university days. He thanked the people of his constituency for their continued support and described his late father as a man of unblemished character.
When I look back and the grace of God upon us and my siblings, just believe who must give back to the society. So what we are doing today has nothing to do with politics, but giving back to the society.
He assured constituents that more empowerment programs are in the pipeline.
Business news is next after this break. Don't go away.
Money point of that.
No worry, you have to make them. No go buy ball.
They use money points?
Of course now, they use money points.
Confirm.
Money point made for your progress.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has projected a stronger macroeconomic outlook for the country in 2026, forecasting a 4.49% growth in gross domestic product (GDP), a moderation in inflation to about 12.4%, and a rise in external reserves to $51.04 billion. Amid sustained reforms, improved oil sector performance, and easing monetary conditions. In its macroeconomic outlook for Nigeria in 2026, the Apex Bank said the projections point to a realistic window of opportunity for macroeconomic stabilization following the gains recorded in 2025 despite global and domestic headwinds. The CBN noted that global economic growth slowed marginally to an estimated 3.20% in 2025 from 3.30% in 2024, reflecting lingering trade tensions and weaker demand in major economies. Nigeria's financial transactions with the rest of the world improved markedly in the third quarter of 2025 as the country recorded a balance of payment surplus of $4.60 billion, reversing the deficit of $0.27 billion posted in the preceding quarter to 2025. These developments means Nigeria receives more foreign money than it spent quarter. The Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed this in its balance of payments highlights for quarter 3 2025 release. According to the Apex Bank, the improvement was driven mainly by a rise in external reserves and better management of financial flows, even though earnings from regular trade and income weakened. Financial accounts leads recovery. The strongest boost came from financial accounts, which tracks investment, loans and savings between Nigeria and other countries. The Managing Director, Chief Executive of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, Mr. Thompson Sunday, has warned that the federal government's 50% cost-to-income ratio policy is limiting the corporation's ability to build a strong financial buffer to protect depositors. He said the NDIC complies with the policy, but added